I'm David Volk for Chin Music. Today we go back into the way back machine for another in the continuing series of pieces on post-pandemic coworkers. Today's post, how to avoid lazy coworkers. First, you have to know the characteristics of lazy office mates. The trouble with lazy people is that, on first glance, they are indistinguishable from many other potential cubicle mates. Messy desk? Could be that person is so busy she never has time to clear her desk. Lunch dish still on desk? It could be that the person is so dedicated that they ate lunch in the office and haven't taken a break to clean up. Is their coat sloppily thrown over the back of their chair? Maybe they're so excited about their job that they want to get right to work when they get into the office in the morning that they don't want to give a thought to anything else. Or it could be that they're so lazy they haven't taken anything off their desk since they started with the company 2 years ago. Their plate is for Monday's lunch from 4 Mondays ago, and the coat has been there since early January. Laziness is relative, of course. One woman's laziness is another's lethargy. But if you're trying to find out how unambitious your potential office cubicle mate is, you may want to consider the following. 1. Sometimes they sits and thinks, and sometimes they just sits. Sitting near your desk contemplating a thorny issue and trying to come up with an elegant resolution is one thing. It's another to animatedly punch the clock at 9, then spend the next 8 hours, with time off for coffee break and lunch, staring off into the distance, doing nothing. Although it is nice work if you can get it. 2. They have been known to have original thoughts, but they don't like to act on them. We're not saying the thoughts died of loneliness exactly, just that their fate is the same as a form turned into a government office, filed away deep in some cabinet somewhere, never to see the light of day again, or those online job applications you submitted to just about every company. 3. On the odd occasions when they are motivated to do something more than their usual effort, they sit down and wait until the feeling passes. You can almost see it in their faces. First, there's the surprise look. They move almost purposefully. A sweat breaks out on their forehead, and then they sit down in your office and fan themselves with their hands like it were a hot summer's day and the air conditioning was on the fritz, even though it's the middle of winter. 3. They can never be accused of putting the bop in the bop, shabop shabop, or the ram in the, well, you know. Not only are they unlikely to put forth the effort actually required to write a song, they lose interest in singing along with a popular song about halfway through. 4. They aren't bothered by work. They can sit there and stare at it for hours. It's hard to tell whether they find it fascinating or that they accidentally sat down next to it and are now too lazy to get up. 5. They love the sound that deadlines make as they go whooshing by. Admittedly, they're not all that wild about the calls they get from angry bosses chewing them out for not getting the job done, but luckily for them, they're too lazy to answer the phone. 6. I think it's 6. They wish they had assistants to do their work for them, but don't want to do the work required to find an actual assistant. What? You mean people like placing an ad on Monster or Indeed or Newspaper Classified, then arranging interviews, then actually meeting the people and asking them questions and having to make a decision? That's way too much work. Maybe they could get their assistants to do it. And 7, they firmly believe you should never put off today, or you can put off, well, forever, really. Like reading more of these silly lists. I've been David Volk for Chin Music.